Rathfriland. Rathfriland from Irish Ráth Fraoileann, meaning ringfort of Fraoile, is a market town in County Down, Northern Ireland. History. In older documents written in English, the town's name was usually spelt Rathfriland or Rathfriland. It was once the capital of the Magennis family, the Gaelic lords of Ivog. They built a castle there in the late 16th century. The ruins' south gable 30 by 25 feet 9.1 m x 7.6 m may still be seen on the hill upon which Rathfriland sits. It was a square building of 3-4 stories with a stone barrel vault at the ground floor to lessen the risk of fire. The castle was battered down during the Irish-Confederate Wars, and much of the remainder was carried off by William Hawkins of London, the first Protestant landowner there after the war. The stones were used to build the town, in the building of which still stands on the corner of the square and Newry Street and other houses in the village. In 1760 the market house, which dominates the main square, was built for the linen market by Miss Theodosia McGill. An old map of 1776 prepared for the Mead estate shows streets, lanes, tenements, and gardens forming the early village. A clock-faced war memorial stands in the square on the southeastern side. To this day the names Mead, Magennis, and Hawkins live on in Rathfriland, most notably in Ivog Primary School, where the 3 surnames are the name of the sporting houses or teams and used on Sports Day. The Dollies-Bree conflict took place between Rathfriland and the nearby town of Castlewellan on 12 July 1849. Up to 1400 Orangemen marched from Rathfriland, when 1,000 barely armed ribbonmen gathered and attacked the parade. There are reports that Catholic homes were burned and that an estimated 80 Catholics were killed. Rathfriland lies in County Down, the baronies of Ivog lower half, and Ivog upper half, the townlands of Rosconner and Lessize, the district electoral area of Knockavig, and the civil parishes of Drumballyroney and Drumgaff. Education. Education is provided by 3 schools. Primary education. Ivog Primary School, a coeducational primary school that educates around 350 pupils aged from 3 to 11. St. Mary's Primary School secondary education. Rathfriland High School. Transport. Rathfriland was served by Ballyroney Railway Station, only a few miles away. Goods and passengers were transported from the station to the village. The former GNRI line between Banbridge and Newcastle was shut down in 1955 by the UTA. Translink now operates daily services between Rathfriland and Banbridge, Newry and Newcastle. Sport. Rathfriland Rangers FC play association football in the Northern Amateur Football League. Other sporting clubs include Rathfriland FC, formed in 1962. Rathfriland Bowling Club Level Green Bowls. Rathfriland Junior FC, formed in 2002. Drumgaff GAC Gaelic Games. Rathfriland Angling Club game fishing on the Upper River Bann and Drumlough Lake. Demography. Rathfriland is classified as a village by the Northern Ireland Statistics and Research Agency NISRA. On Census Day 27 March 2011 there were 2,467 people living in Rathfriland. Of these, 21.44% were aged under 16 years and 18.0% were aged 65 and over. 48.24% of the population were male and 51.76% were female. 39.64% were from a Roman Catholic background and 55.41% were from a Protestant background. Media. The town has had its own newspaper, The Outlook, since 1940. Notable people. Famous personalities with local connections include Agnes Macready, Australia's first war correspondent, was born here in 1855. Theodosia Mead, Countess of Clanwilliam. Patrick Bront, the father of the Bront sisters Charlotte, Emily, and was born in 1777 in a cottage in Edinagary on the outskirts of Annaclone, where he lived until a local vicar paid his way to Cambridge University in 1802. While studying at Cambridge, he changed his name from Brunty to Bront. He preached and taught at Drumballiroony Church and Schoolhouse, between Rathfriland and Munnis Lane. The Bront Homeland Interpretative Centre is at Drumballiroony. Andrew George Scott, alias Captain Moonlight, was born in Rathfriland in 1842 in a house on Castle Hill. A notorious Australian bushranger. Margaret Byers née Morrow was born in Rathfriland in 1832. Margaret Byers was a teacher, a businesswoman, a pioneer of higher education for girls, a philanthropist, and a suffragist. She said, "My aim was to provide for girls an education as thorough as that which is afforded to boys in the schools of the highest order." She was given an honorary degree by Trinity College, Dublin, in 1905, and in 1908 Queen's University, Belfast, appointed her to its Senate. Francis Brooks, 1924–2010, was born in Rathfriland. He was a former bishop of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Dromore. William Huston Dodd, 1844–1930, was born in Rathfriland and was educated at the Royal Belfast Academical Institution and Queen's College, Belfast. In 1873 he was called to the bar, and in 1896 he was appointed president of the Statistical and Social Inquiry Society. He served as a High Court judge from 1907 to 1924. Patrick Sheobi, 1908–1986, was born in County Westmeath, and since his father was a policeman, he spent his childhood in Athlone, Clones, County Monaghan, Rathfriland and Newry, County Down. His father served in the Royal Irish Constabulary and had various postings until the RIC was disbanded on the partition of Ireland in 1922. He later joined the Royal Ulster Constabulary, achieving the rank of head constable and later clerk of petty sessions in Newry. Patrick was educated by the Irish Christian Brothers, the Abbey, Newry. He joined the Northern Ireland Civil Service and attained the rank of permanent secretary in the Department of Education. He wrote Voices and the Sound of Drums. He was made an honorary member of the Royal Society of Ulster Architects in 1971 and a Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts in 1977. John McAllery, 1848–49, 1925, Irish Association football pioneer, founder of first Irish football team Cliftonville FC in 1879, captained Ireland in its first ever international match in 1882. Margaret Byers, 1832–1912, Irish educator, activist, social reformer, missionary, writer.